All right, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Salaki about that. Something just happened. I think it just went blank. I'm blending on Hashatan. All right. That's usually who it is. Trying to get those to get off my feed. If you ain't gonna be able to stop the word, it's how it has to come out. Non-void. All right. Mic. Mic right there. Bam. Right there. So, Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, I love to give all honors, praises, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, and we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, Shemai Yasharala Yahweh, Allahayanawa Yahweh Achad. That means, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Okay, He's not a Trinity, none at all. All right. All right, let me share my screen with y'all. Give me just a second. All right, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. The next feast day will be the Feast of Lights, so-called Hanukkah. Um, the Book of Maccabees is going to be read a lot now. People are going to be in the Book of Maccabees, so people get ready for Feast of Lights. 7 days of gifts. Powerful. 7 days of gifts. Forget December 25th, man. Christ wasn't born on that day. All right, I'm gonna share my screen so we can start. Y'all already when you clicked onto the video, you see what we're going through. If not, click back out and come back in. As you click out, see what the lesson is we're going over. But because I am a merciful man, I'm gonna go over what we're going over if that needs to be done. Okay. All right. So Torah portions is October 16th, all right, 2022. Torah portion, right, starting at Genesis chapter 1, ending at Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. And then we're going on to read some wisdom, going into the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1, reading at chapter 14, verse 35. And then we're going on to some more wisdom into the book of Wisdom of Solomon, reading chapter 11, verse 1 to chapter 14 to 31. Okay? So let me share my screen. All right, Salakia. So I don't know if I was on mute or not, Salakia. Mine showed me that I was on mute. My laptop showed me I was on mute. We're going through Torah portions. This is October 16th, 2022. And we're going into the Torah, the law, starting in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, starting at verse 1. And we're going to end up chapter 3, verse 24. Then we're going to read some wisdom, and you're going to learn some wisdom and some understanding. All right. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1, and ending at chapter 14, verse 35. And then we're going to meet some more wisdom in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, starting at chapter 11, verse 1, ending at chapter 14, verse 31. All right, so let me share my screen and we'll start learning. All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. All right, so we're going to go a little deeper today. Every time I went into the book of Genesis, man, we went deep, proving you and showing you who this God was and who the Spirit of God was, right? Because you got to understand, and the Spirit of God, of Him. Pay attention to that. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. All right? So let's find out. Let's go just a little bit deeper. All right. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 2. I got my notes on the side of me, so please forgive me. Please forgive me for being prepared. All right. This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, and verse 1. We're going to start there, my bad. And verse 1. All right. O power of my fathers. All right, what are we going to read to? Yeah. O power of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word. See, that is very deep for people. People thinking that is just a word. People is thinking that, he said something and it happened. No, pay attention to this. It's a little bit deep. O power of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word. All right, let's go a little bit deeper. I'm starting to paint the picture now. All right, let's go to John 1 and 1. Got to paint the picture. All right. St. John, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it reads, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, Yahweh, and the Word was power. Right? The same was in the beginning with Yahweh. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Let's go back to Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon 9, verse 1. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 1. O power of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word. You got to understand, when we go back over here to John chapter 1 and verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh, and the Word was power. Right? The same was in the beginning with Yahweh. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. This is things that you got to catch on to, and you got to learn. First thing you got to learn is what I've been taught is to fear the Most High. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. Can you get that, Baba Kusha? So let's go over to something, again, painting this picture for you. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. That's two people. and the Word was power. The same was in the beginning. What's that? Genesis 1 with Yahweh. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Okay? Got that? Go ahead. I need you to gotta pay attention to these things. Okay? Y'all can't just be everywhere. You gotta learn, spend the time to understand and study. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Say it again.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
And
the knowledge of the holy is understanding.
And the knowledge of the holy is understanding. The people that separate themselves from this world. All right. So verse 3, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. So let's go to Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 9. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 3 and verse 9. Didn't even go there. I'm going to start at 8. He was not that light. Just to give you a better understanding. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. John was not that light, but he was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. Right? Am I at the right spot real quick? It's Ephesians chapter 3, verse 9. That is not in my. Look at it, Zanat. Come and look at the computer real quick. See how Hashatan is working? I was just on look at. Oh man, that's crazy. That's my fault. I didn't do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Salakia. Never mind. I just didn't push the little arrow. I'm not used to this app, so excuse me. Ephesians chapter 3. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, right? Which from the beginning of the world hath been hid in Yahweh, who created all things by Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Now, are y'all seeing the picture I'm painting? So when I went to Wisdom of Solomon 9, by the word, right? And then I went to John 1 and 1, showing you that, right? In the beginning was the word, and the word was with Yahweh, right? And the word was power of his father. Now I'm at Ephesians chapter 3, verse 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, the secrets, which from the beginning of the world, right? Genesis 1, had been hid in Yahweh, who created all things by Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You see that? Let's go to Colossians 1 and 14. I'm going to walk y'all through this. To the Spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It's the book of Colossians chapter 1 and verse 14. In whom, hold on, we're going to read to 18. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature, our big brother, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay, that's our big bro. He was the firstborn of every creature. If he's the firstborn of every creature, that makes him the inheritor to inherit the earth. He is the earth is his inheritance. And the Most High gave him the power. That's why I said in the beginning was power, because the Most High gave him that power to create everything. Verse 15, who is the image of the invisible power, which is Yahweh, the firstborn of every creature, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. I don't need to go further than that. All things consist. So let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 1. So you can just understand this. Because that's all I want to do is give y'all an understanding. Huh? And y'all should be having a pen and a paper to write this down, to be quite honest with you. Whoever's watching, when you tune in, you should have a pen and a paper, writing these precepts down and putting them in your phone or something. By the precept, not just the precept, but the whole precept, the paragraphs and everything. That way you can study them because you learn through the precepts. And then when you come by somebody, sisters, teaching young men under 20 and the women, don't try to be teaching the men, don't do that. And brothers, where you can teach the men and the women and the kids and the children. So Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 and verse 1, so that we can get a better understanding of this now. O power of my fathers, I say power instead of G-O-D, all right? O power of my fathers and power of mercy, who has made all things with thy word. You see that? Who made all things with that word? Who is that? Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Now he was in the beginning creating all things. And guess where he's going to be at now? He's going to be in the end. He's going to be in the end. He's at the beginning. Remember, he said, I come in the volume of the book, for it is written of me. That was Yahweh Shai Mashiach. That's what he said. It is written of me. He's from the beginning and the end. So that means if he was from the beginning and he's going to be in the end, that means he was in the middle of times. And before the middle of times, he was through all that to the middle and all that going to the end. All right. So every time Genesis explained, it should be explained in a way like this to give you an understanding. Okay. Let's go to Revelations 19 and 11. We're going to read the 13. Everybody should be writing this down, man. This is very important. Revelations chapter 19. Let's see what he's going to be doing in the end. Remember to click that button now, y'all. It's Revelations chapter 19, verse 11. We're going to read the 13. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see, thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant. Whoops, it's like I'm supposed to be 11. I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, And in righteousness, he doeth judge and make war. It's Yahweh Shai who's doing all that right now. The power is in him from his father. Go ahead and get a good coffee, man. Right. The power, the Most High installed that power in him to do these things. And in righteousness, he doeth judge and make war. Right? His eyes were as a flame of fire, and his head were many crowns. He had dominions, he had conquered dominions and all that stuff, and kingdoms and stuff. He took their crown, their rulership. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Nobody's going to know his name in that day. He had a name. Hey, by Yahweh Shai was he not known before he came on the scene in Matthew's? He was not known by Yahweh Shai. But in that day, right? In that day, he's going to have a name that nobody knows. Verse 12, his eyes were a flame of fire, and his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. Got to ask yourself this, man. Do you know him? Do you see him? Do you know him? I pray that I know him enough. I really sincerely do, and I hope y'all do as well. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. The Word of Yahweh. You got Wisdom of Solomon 9:1, and you got St. John, chapter 1, verse 1 to 3. And then I had Ephesians chapter 3, verse 9, and then I went to Colossians chapter 1, verse 14, showing you from the beginning it has been him. And it said his spirit, right? Let me get this. Let me show this real quick. Book of Psalms. Chapter 104. Book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 4. Who maketh this angel spirits and his ministers a flaming fire. The spirit was an angel. That was Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, but he was not known by Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. It was not known. Right? So let's go. I mean, I got a lot of priests that don't think I'm going to use them all, but I just wanted to make a point real quick. Let's go back to Genesis 1. So now that we understand that this was Christ in the beginning, hey, he was in Exodus 2. I'm not going to go there, but when we get to the book of Exodus, I'll go there again. But if you watch my videos in the past, you'll see that I broke that down beautifully. Okay? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven. Who was that? Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which we understand and know now. And the earth. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the waters. He was flying through the air. That's water. You can grab water out of the air in many different ways, mist and all. All right. And Yahweh Shai, who we know that is now, said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And power saw the light. Who was that power? Yahweh Shai, because he is power. And power saw the light. Day and darkness he called night. right? Let me do something. Show y'all that God means power. What? The thundering? Be instant in season and out of season. Alahayim. It's actually Alahayim, not Elohim. Alahayim. In the Paleo Hebrew is Yiddish. Okay, God, judge, God is great, mighty, angels, exceeding Godward with godly. Don't even have powers in here no more. And they changing a lot of things. But we know what it means. Give me a Hebrew book so I can show the people. It's right there. It's underneath the table. Right here. The Hebrew book or Hebrew book. And look up God or power so we can show it.
The purple one?
No, I'm talking about a booklet. It should be. I saw it in the table. Yeah. God in ordinary sense, but specifically used in the plural, thus, especially with the article of a supreme God, occasionally applied by the difference of magistrates and sometimes as a superlative.
Yeah.
Huh?
God's is Alahayim.
Nalhaya means what? What's up? All right, I'm gonna have Zanakaria explain it to y'all. Go ahead.
So the angels are Malakia, right? Which Malakia means angels, but they are powers upon the earth. God is power, so they are gods. They are powers upon the earth, which make them Alahayim. So it's different. It's different, descriptions. Just like Yahweh Shai has different descriptions. You know what I'm saying? The Most High has different descriptions. Call them different names.
Right. So powers upon earth will make them Alahayim.
Okay.
Which Alahayim will make them powers or power.
Okay.
Powers.
Okay. Well, power is Alawah.
Power is Alahayim.
No, powers are Alahayim. Power is Alawah.
Right. Come. The water.
Okay. And also king. King is a Malak too.
How about multiple kings?
Okay.
Exactly. So Alawah, as in God, Alawah, we just don't say this word because it's just has nothing to do with Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. This is just an insert, like a couple of words. We'll go back over that again too. And that's why I said powers, or I would just say Yahweh Shai, which I prove when, I will often be like, Alawah or Yahweh Shai, or let you know when it's powers, let you know when it's the Alahayim doing it, okay? And Yahweh Shai said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yahweh Shai saw the light, that it was good. And Yahweh Shai divided the light from the darkness. And Yahweh Shai called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now, this is a big problem. Got my notes on it. That is a big problem. So you have people that are celebrating starting the Sabbath in a day, right? So if it's Friday night to Saturday night, they're doing. You think they're doing what? Friday daytime to Saturday time?
Oh.
No, I mean, because the doctrine out where brothers are celebrating the feast days, starting it during the day, and they're doing Saturday morning to Sunday morning, a whole 24-hour period. That's what they're doing, but they're not understanding the scriptures. That's what's happening. Folks have to understand when the day started, it started at night, which would be the beginning and the start of a new day. So yeah, Saturday to Sunday morning, Saturday morning to Sunday morning. The evening is not called the day. It is being referenced as the start of a new day. Again, the evening is not called the day. It is being referenced as the start of a new day, not daytime. All right, read Genesis 1-5. A whole 24-hour period is a day, not daytime. Con, you got daytime and you got the start of the day. Daylight versus the start of the day. All right. So they gave me my sword in my backpack, Baba Kushad. Give me a second. All right, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Y'all remember that show Star Trek? Remember what he's always saying? Deep Space Nine. He said something else. I just can't remember right now. So let's go over here real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 11, and we'll come back here. I just want to, there's just a lot in these scriptures to teach you guys and give you the understanding of it. It's just, it's a lot. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 11. But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water. And when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. When the sun is down, that's sundown, then he shall come into the camp again. So when a person is unclean by reason of something that made him unclean, it can either be spilling seed, it can either be touching some woman that was on her period, or some woman's husband went outside of the house and he's unclean and somebody else touched him. So everybody's unclean. So how do you take care of that situation? All right. But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water. What is evening? Nighttime. Now, why are you clean? When the sun is down, he shall wash himself with water. And when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. It's a new day. All right. If you made yourself unclean before sundown, you can hurry up and wash yourself and be clean again. See what I mean? So let me start at 10. If there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness that chanceth him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp. It's night, evening. Now let's go back here to Genesis real quick. Just showing you when the day started. All right. So, and the earth was without, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the waters. And Yahweh said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yahweh saw the light, that it was good. And Yahweh divided the light from the darkness. Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. That is a 24-hour period. So folks is tripping on this. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of the trumpets, and holy convocation. In the first day. When does the day start? In the evening. Very simple. precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. I went over Genesis, then I went to Leviticus, showing you in the beginning when the day started, then coming over here to Leviticus, showing you. Okay? Folks have to understand when the day started, it started at night, which would be the beginning and the start of a new day. The evening is not called the day. It is being referenced as the start of a new day, not daytime or daylight. All right? A whole 24-hour period is a day, not daytime. Simple as that. Okay, we shall move on. Was that clear? Mommy, is that like very crystal clear? Should people understand that? All right. Come on. Okay, we'll be right now. All right, verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yahweh made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. When that firmament in the midst of the waters, where Yahweh made that firmament, it divided the waters from the waters. It was a different atmosphere. All in our atmosphere is water. Okay, it's air. And out of air, you can get water. There's machines that create water straight from the air. Okay? Yahweh made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. I was taught that, and it's just so by looking up and just studying and looking up to see if it was true. You know, it was called the firmament will be called the ozone layer. Okay. And if you got something different, please do hit me up, which is what I've been taught, and I'm gonna go with it because it's happened to be true. All right. And Yahweh made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Yahweh called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. See, the evening and the morning together, 12 hours of evening, 12 hours of daylight a day. And Yahweh said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together until one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Yahweh called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself and his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day, 24-hour period. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. These lights, what was it? Was it the stars? Or was it lights? Were the stars made already? Because I didn't see it. These were elements. Like if the sun is way over here in the east and you have a big building in the way of the sun. So you think the sun is just lighting around that building? No, those are elements. They're illuminated, right? And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahushua made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Now he made the stars. And Yahushua set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Now the stars are made, not the sun, not the moon. We're talking about stars, the galaxies. Right? And Yahushua, verse 17, and Yahushua set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yahushua saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And Yahushua said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Yahushua created great whales, and every living creature that moveth. Talking about us too. Let's find out. Nafesh, soul, life, person, mind, heart, creature, body, himself, yourself, dead, will, desire, man, themselves, any, right? Soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, talking about creature, wells, and all that stuff. Person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion, that which breathes the breath, substance of being, soul, the inner being of man, living being, with the life in the blood, the man himself, self, person, or individual, seed, or appetites, emotions, passion, activity of mind. See, he created us too with the heathen. Watch. Properly, a breathing creature, i.e., animal, used very widely in a literal, accommodated, or figurative sense. Okay, activity of the character. All right, let's go back over here. All right. And God created the whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Everybody comes out of water. Let's get that. Let me see. That wasn't it. Okay. Verse 21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind. Now watch this. Isaiah 48:1. Isaiah chapter 48:1. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Jacob, which swear by the name of Yahweh, and make mention of the power of Israel, but not in truth nor in righteousness. What is righteous? What is truth? Psalms 119, 148. For that truth, for that is an everlasting righteousness, and that law is the truth. So like it. And righteousness is Deuteronomy 6:25. Right? I just repeated this. Psalms 119, 142, that righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. And Deuteronomy 6:25, and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahweh our power, as he hath commanded us. Right? So that's what it is. Jeez. So let's go back over here to Genesis. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yahushua saw that it was good. And Yahushua blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Man was created on the fifth day. And Yahushua said, let the earth bring forth a living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Yahushua made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And Yahushua saw that it was good. And Yahushua said, let us make man in our image. Created up there. Now he's saying what we're going to do with man, make him in our image. Our order, likeness and everything. Let us make man in our image after our likeness. Image after likeness. So image and likeness can't be the same thing. You got to think about it. Likeness is how we act. So the image have to be the order, and likeness have to be how, not how we act, but how we look, just like us. But the image is referring to order. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yahweh created man in his own image, the order. In the image of Yahweh created he him. Male and female created he them. All right? And Yahweh blessed them. And Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And Yahushua said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, and that which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And Yahushua saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. You all right over there, partner? Here we go. Give me a second. Okay. So Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, Yahweh ended his work, which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work, which he had made. Yahweh blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Blessed that in it, because that in it he had rested from all his work, which Yahweh created and made. These are the generations, means the records. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth, when they were created in the day that Yahweh, thy power, made the earth and the heavens. Right? Because in the beginning was power, and the word was with God. All right. So when you see capital Lord, that's Yahweh, right? And how did Yahweh thy power made the earth? Through his son. He gave him the power to do so. Ultimately, it was Yahweh that created everything, because through his power his son has, right? Through his power that he installed in his son, everything was created. All right. Verse 5. And every plant of the field before was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahweh thy power had caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. It didn't used to rain from the pockets of of the skies of heavens. It used to come from the earth. Right? Verse 7. And Yahweh thy power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So what is that breath of life? Give me Wisdom of Solomon 7:24, Baba Kushan.
This is Psalm 7:24.
Mm-hmm. Show them that breath of life.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Say it again.
For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Uh-huh.
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
Right. That was
For
it.
she is the breath of the power of God.
For she is the what?
She is the breath of the power of the Most High.
Wisdom, law. That's what he blew into his nostrils. The law. Wisdom. That's what he blew into him. Was that it?
We went to another verse.
Oh, okay. Well, it was to 15. It's what, 24 to 25.
24, 25?
Yeah.
And pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty.
Right.
Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her.
Okay. This is how it is. All right, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And Yahweh thy power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul through the Lord. And Yahweh thy power planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. So ultimately it was Yahweh Shai who did it, but we're giving all honor and praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, or Mashiach, okay? Because that's how I'm reading it now. And out of the ground made Yahweh thy power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So who's the garden? Who's the tree of life in Akaria?
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai. And who's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Gonna blow their mind. Who is it? We're gonna find out. Do, 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 do. No, we're just gonna have to do a breakdown on the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But the good tree is Yahweh Shai. All right. But you had Satan and you have Yahweh Shai there. All right. Because right here, Satan is coming in a form of the angel. He had transformed himself into an angel of light. He's trying to be like Yahweh Shai. That's how he fooled Eve. Right? Let me see. I'm not going to deviate. We stay on course. And out of the ground made Yahweh thy power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. All right, who's the tree of life? Yahweh Shai. We'll get to the tree of knowledge of good and evil later. That's going to be a breakdown to keep y'all watching. Okay, so first, we know what is the trees. We already know that this tree is referenced as a basically a person. That's what it's referenced as. All right. And a good for food, a tree of life, also in the midst of the garden, a tree of life. There's no trees literally of life except food that sustains us. But this is not talking about an actual tree. And let me show you, because the Most High references people and nations as trees or beasts. Okay? Let's just precept that up. Ezekiel 31:3. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 31, verse 3. Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches. If this Assyrian, talking about these Assyrians, were a cedar in Lebanon, big and huge, right? With fair branches, it's talking about his people that are with him, fair branches, and with shadow and shroud, and of an high stature, famous, known. And his top was among the thick boughs, right? Amongst everybody else that was like him. The waters made him great, the deep set him up on high with her rivers, set him up on high. Reverencing him as like the waters made him great, this understanding made him great. The deep set him up on high with rivers running round about his plants. The understanding went around with everybody and sent out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. right? The people. Therefore, his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All right. Let me get another. We get Isaiah 30:6, let you know he referencing also the beast to get you ready for the time for things to come. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 6, the burden of the beasts of the south, and to the land of trouble and anguish, from whence come the young and old lion, the viper and fiery flying serpent. They will carry their riches upon the shoulders of young asses, and their treasures upon the bunches of camels, to a people that shall not profit them. Mm. Mm-hmm. See, these beasts, they're going to carry the riches upon asses. These beasts don't have riches, man. They just eat grass all day and stuff, man. Come on now. You know, people go into those little folk tales and little things talking about, yeah, but they back then, when guys were gods and then the earth, they were doing, nah, man, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. Stop that. All right. So back to Genesis 2. All right, Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. And out of the ground made Yahweh thy power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight. Talking about people and good for food, right? The understanding is cool. You can talk to them, you can chill with them. The tree of life, also in the midst of the garden. Yahweh Shai was chilling with it. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, right? And from thence it was parted and became into four heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good, and Bethlehem and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon, the same as that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, that is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And Yahweh thy power took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. He was a power in the garden amongst the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He can only eat of the tree of life, though, not of the tree of not of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Right? And Yahweh thy power commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Talk to him, chill with him, hang around him. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And Yahweh thy power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him and help me for him. See? Yahweh saying in 17, pay attention, of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Verse 18. And the Lord Yahweh and the Lord Yahweh thy power said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. So he had all this power before the woman came onto the scene of doing all these things. He was given the law and everything else, and he was given all instructions. Now he needs a helpmeet. He has everything that he needs. Now he has a helpmeet, right? And out of the ground, Yahweh thy power formed every beast of the field and of every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever called every living creature, that was the name thereof. He named everybody, even the other nations that were over there. And Adam gave names to the cattle and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And Yahweh thy power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahweh thy power had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man and his wife were not ashamed. They was naked of death. They didn't know death, right? They had no understanding of death, right? Kal Shara, Debar Yahweh, Anaya Shai Nashamat. Although Yahweh said, what we doing here? Let's keep going. Here we go. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Pay attention. I showed you in Isaiah 30 and 6, the beast, they're people, but they were referenced as beast. Okay? Okay, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh thy power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath Yahweh Shai said, ye should not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh Shai hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. See, he's coming like what? The tree of good, right? He's coming like Yahweh Shai. He's coming to her. He's enticing her. Like, man, you can eat of me. You can talk to me. You can chill with me. Why can't you talk to me? Ain't that what Esau and them be doing? You can talk to me. It come like the devil, because she's not supposed to be talking to no other man. She's not supposed to be learning from no other man, watching no YouTube videos with other men and learning from them. That is the same thing. No. Stop going to your own, lean not to thine own understanding. That's what it is. The woman going over here watching other men and listening to other men, and their husband is not aware that he's not supposed to be letting his wife do those things. If you lay down and have sex with a man, that's your husband, period. Yes, you done had multiple husbands, you whore. Repent. That's all it is. Repent, don't do it no more. The man that you're with right now, y'all better get a good understanding, because this is life. And now that you know there's no more sacrifices for sins, you know already that's your husband. And you have to be under his order and his leadership, not your own. Whole story in itself, all right? Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For Yahweh Shai do knoweth that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened. Remember, it said they were both naked and were not ashamed. And ye shall be as powers. Ye shall be as Yahweh Shai, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree to be desired, right? To make one wise. How can a tree make you wise? This was an actual man. She took of the fruit thereof. Give me Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15. And read the 16 Bible.
13, 15.
Uh-huh. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15. We're going to read the 16. Right? Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes, he got her. He was like, yeah, he makes good sense. I don't see why I'm not able to talk to him. I should be able to talk to him. He probably makes good sense. A tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Wow. Now he's learning from another power, not himself. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to God continually. That is the fruit of our lips.
That is the what?
That is the fruit of our lips.
The fruit of our lips. And verse 6, Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, the fruit of our lips, and that it was pleasant to the eyes. What? The fruit of our lips. And a tree to be desired to make one wise. What? The fruit of his lips. She took of the fruit thereof, of what? His lips, and did eat, and did listen. She listened, and gave also unto her husband with her. She learned what he said and went back and said it to her husband. And he did eat, and he did accept it. He was like, yeah, you're right, man. You, oh, let me humble down. So you got to understand when you come back with something, and we know in the scriptures, and you are being our wives, and you say something to us, and we don't listen to you, you take it personal because of the understanding you got in the world. A lot of our women went got their masters, their bachelors, and they learned this devil's doctrine. It just don't mean ish to the Most High. You're, and it's always been like this, even through time right now. The wisdom you learn in your degrees that y'all got just don't matter to us like it matters to you. Just doesn't, and that's why you get mad. But that's a different subject, and I don't want to deviate. I'm just showing you what the scriptures is showing you. Is open my eyes to it. It should be open your eyes too. What matters is that you cooperate with us because you are a helpmate and you've been given to us to do what we want you to do. Doesn't mean you're a dog. Dogs are very obedient. To you women that refer yourself to dogs and animals, no, you're not. But most of y'all are just disobedient women. Has nothing to do with you being a dog. And you're not children. Children are very humble and obedient. They do what they're told. Again, you guys are just very rebellious. And that is most of you. Some of you are not. Stop referring to yourself something as negative. You know what? We don't want you to be robots. But if that's what we want you to you be whatever you were created for us to be a helpmeet. The thing is, we learn to get along. All right? And we subject ourselves to one another. But whatever the man needs you to be, you conform yourself to that. Just like Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai want us to be a certain way. Us men, we conform ourselves to that. We don't say, well, we're not your robots. We don't say, hey, we're not your dogs. We don't go and say, hey, we not this, and not that. No, we just do what we're told. The same is passed down to you guys. And that way we can defeat this right here. And this won't happen. This will not happen. Okay? Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, what the fruit of his lips, what he was saying, she just, and that it was pleasant. Give me Sirach 99. And that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat. She absorbed it. She absorbed that information. And gave also unto her husband with her. And he did eat. And let me tell you, I had to bond get a precept. Reason why this is very important. This is very important. Read.
Sirach, chapter 9, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Sit not at all with another man's wife.
Because of this happened right here, that was said. Go ahead.
Nor sit down with her in thy arms.
Because after a while, sin was multiplied in the earth. He told Esau to get thee into darkness. Right? Go ahead.
Lest thine heart incline unto her,
Mm-hmm.
and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
And through you, what you prefer from that woman, and you starting to like her, you fall into destruction. And what is that? Adultery. Or you start committing fornication, having sex with that woman in your mind. All right, verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So if you had the fruit of your lips, what about these fig leaves and everything else? There wasn't things they covered themselves with. These were just understanding and doctrines that they start getting from the other nations. And they knew that they were naked. They were trying to clothe themselves back up, and they sewed fig leaves together, doctrines, and made themselves aprons. Made them something that'll cover themselves of understanding. So they'll cover themselves. Verse 8, and they heard the voice of the Lord, voice of Yahweh thy power. And they heard the voice of Yahweh thy power. Right? Walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh thy power. Right? Talking about the prophets. Among the trees of the garden. They try to blend in with everybody else. Give me Luke chapter 1, verse 7. They tried to blend in with everybody else because they looked like everybody else, as in the appearance and coloration of brown skins and everything else, different shades of brown, right? And they heard the voice of Yahweh thy power, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh thy power among the trees of the garden. It's like our people try to do today, man. They try to dress like other people, act like other people, hid themselves amongst the trees of the garden. Go ahead.
Luke chapter 1, verse 7. They had no child because that Elizabeth was barren. And they
I'm sorry. I think it's 1 and 7. Spoken by the mouth of the holy prophets.
1 and 77?
Yeah, ain't that it? I know it's Luke 1 and 70. I think it's 70 or 77.
Yeah, Luke chapter 1, verse 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies, from the hand of all that hate us.
Which he spoke by his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. That's who they was hiding from, because they was looking for him. All right, Genesis chapter 3, verse 9. And Yahweh thy power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? These are the prophets. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. Because what they knew and what now they know and everything else, they shouldn't have known that. And now they, it was going to come out. They'll be like, man, what's up with this and what's up with that? Or this and that. I was told this and that. They knew they was naked. They knew what they knew. They'll find out because they can. Nope, I'm not going to go there. But this, the temple, is able to be read by Yahweh. They knew they was naked, what they knew. Yahweh was going to read that. All right. That is the mercy seat up there, where Yahweh and you meet and talk together and commune. Verse 8. And they heard the voice of Yahweh that power walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh thy power amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahweh thy power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden. I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? Who commanded him? Yahweh Shai Mashiach. See. Verse 3, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh shot. It's not capital O, capital G, capital O, capital D. All right. And it's not capital Lord, like right here. Right. And Yahweh Shai had said, you should not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. Right. Verse 10. And he said, I heard the voice of the garden. Hold on. Verse 11. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Yahweh thy power said unto the woman, the angel of the Lord, which Yahweh Shai, what is that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. But she listened. She was not supposed to listen. Now, this is a very important thing that's about to be said, and a lot of people just skip over it. Okay? All right. And Yahweh thy power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon the belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Confusion. Right? And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise thy heel. That's why Esau has so much trouble in his household. Esau household ain't together. It ain't. It's one of the worst households in America right now. He can't even make his children do anything. They kill their own grandma, grandfather, and parents all the time. All right. Verse 15, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, period. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. What's that called? The quotation? What's that called? What's that? Semicolon?
The two dots?
Semicolon. Now, semicolon. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That was not a curse. It was a semicolon. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, man, you took that understanding, man, of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life. He was able to control things. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herbs of the field. And sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread till thou return. Right? It's like, and in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife named Eve, right? Short for naive, because she was the mother of the living. Unto Adam also, and to his wife, did Yahweh thy power make coats of skins and clothe them. Now, this is what I want to say. Verse 11 to 12, watch this. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee, thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Was he blaming the woman? Or was he just saying what was true and what happened? He told the truth. He wasn't blaming her. There was no blame in that. And the man said, Adam said, the woman who thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. He, he was just saying what was the truth. It was not a blame. Or a lot of women go to this to just excuse themselves of accountability. Well, he shouldn't have listened. He was the man. Like, come on, stop. Let's stop that. If we all take accountability, it'd be good. Okay? So let's go back down here. And verse 21, unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh that power make coats of skins and clothed them. And Yahweh that power said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. Okay, that was a sharp one right there. And Yahweh thy power said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil, and to know lest he put forth and now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore Yahweh thy power sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the and so he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Swords went every which way, caused them not to see how it shot. You know, that's a story in itself right there, man. All right, so now we done. We'll call Asherah, the Bar Yahweh, Anaya Shah, Manah Shema. All that Yahweh said, what we doing here. So now we finna switch over to wisdom, to the book of Proverbs. And I'll have the bond come over here and read a chapter, and then I'll be back. Give me a sec.
Con, shalom, 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 shalom. Can't find it. All right. So, we're going to Proverbs. Proverbs 11:1. I want to give everybody a happy Feast of Tabernacles. You know what I'm saying? All right. See, look at this Bible, right? Look at this Bible. You see all the writings on the Bible and everything? I didn't do this, right? I didn't. But, it shows that you study and everything like that. But me personally, I don't know. It's like the words start becoming part of the preset. But, all right, this is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight, right? So anything that you have a false balance in is it's a very bad thing. It's an abomination. The Most High always has a balance in everything. Most High has a balance in everything when it comes to the weather, right? And some people say, "Oh, well, heat warming and stuff like that." Well, that's just white people messing up the planet Earth. But the cycle, and the rain comes, the dew picks it up, goes back to the clouds, and it comes back again. Right? When it comes to predators and prey, you know what I'm saying? There's a balance to everything. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. Right? Because when you're prideful and you say something that you don't know nothing about, and people like, that's not true, this and that, and prove you wrong, now you're shamed, like, damn, I don't even know why I said all that, right? But with the lowly, the person that's sitting there that's not really saying nothing, they're gonna get wisdom. They're gonna get wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and they're gonna be brought up, right? The the inter the integrate the
Yeah.
the integrity. I was saying that in my head. I just didn't know if that was it. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteous of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteous of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust men perish. That's big right there. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. Right? So it's like a man that's wicked, a man, saying, that's unjust and everything. When he dies, saying, you know, everything everybody knew about him and stuff like that, it just goes away, man. No one really cares. Right. Right. They don't care, man. Okay. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and wicked cometh in his stead. Right? So when the righteous are delivered out of that trouble, the wicked man comes running right up into trouble. Right? An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. Hey,
For real.
hey.
Don't go over there. Over there's all kind of stuff that scary people. Like in Deuteronomy, when he sent them to spy out the land, you had a false report that scared the people. It was wicked.
He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of the understanding holdeth his peace. A talebearer relieveth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. That happened with uh, uh, uh what happened with Solomon's son, Rehoboam, Jeroboam, man. You know what I'm saying? He that is surety of it for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth suretyship is sure. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. Right? So a merciful man doeth good to his own soul. Man that gives mercy, you gonna, he's gonna let that slide. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Boom, I'll let that right here. Let's just get this straight, right? But a cruel man, a person that just gets you just for anything and everything that you do, you say something, he's just punishing his own soul, man. He's just doing bad on himself. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it his own death. They that are of a forward heart are an abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. Through hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. As a jewel of gold is in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. Mm. Mm. Man. So just like, you can see some gold. For some reason, some gold got snuck in a pig's nose. It's all gooey and icky and stuff like that. But it's gold though. It has its little value. But are you gonna really dig up that pig's nose and get it? Same thing with a fair woman, a pretty woman, right? That has no discretion, right?
A woman that will dress any kind of way and show off her body, that's a woman with no discretion. She's just like a pearl and a wine snout. Got pearl and diamond look real good, but we know it ain't worth anything. Based off how she looks, she has no discretion.
Sure.
Really a beautiful woman. She diminished her looks and everything.
The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. The liberal soul shall be made fat, but he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh him mischief, it shall come unto him. Right? He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come to him. You ever met that one person that's just always just doing something bad? It's just like, man, you just he can't stop himself from just doing bad, man. He's always doing something that's gonna get him put in jail or just doing something crazy. I knew somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna catch up to him. All right. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. Okay, now we're going to chapter 12. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish, right? Stupid, dumb. Right, verse 2. A good man obtaineth favor in the Lord, of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of righteousness shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh a shame is a rottenness of his bones. Right? The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. Right? Because you ever go to a righteous man and you ask him about things like, man, what should I do with this? What should I do with that? You ask him how he's thinking and everything. It's you're gonna get you're not gonna it's not always gonna be easy. Sometimes it's gonna be harsh, sometimes it's gonna be good. Whatever it is, you're getting the right thing. The wicked man is gonna deceive you, saying, oh yeah, you should go do that, or you should go do this, but knowing well that you shouldn't. Right? The words of the wicked are to in life and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The words of the wicked are to lie and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoreth himself and lacketh bread. Mm. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. And those people that be beating their dogs and everything like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Ammon and Moab, they like eating them and stuff. He that tilteth his hand shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of an evil man, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble.
The wicked desire a net of the wicked. Wicked. They always like traps of wicked men. Like, I watch a lot of relationship videos and I hear a lot of men and women getting into bad relationships. The reason why that is they desire the nets, the traps of wicked people. They're so used to it. That's why they get into bad relationships, and they know they are in bad relationships. That's because they desire those traps of wicked people. That's why our scripture says a wicked woman is given to the portion of a wicked man because they desire traps of wicked people.
Good. A man, verse 14, a man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his a man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. You know what I'm saying? Because someone could give you advice, right? And that advice end up getting you killed. But that advice of a righteous man is, what I'm saying, it's gonna be health, man. It's gonna keep you out of trouble, right? The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are as the light. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools uh, proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the light shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of diligent man is precious. And the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death.
Beautiful.
Come.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to touch back on something he said real quick. Let's head back to that. All right, it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 1. I believe it's around here. All right. Whoso loveth instruction, loveth knowledge. But he that hateth reproof is brutish. So I ran into some sisters like this, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to have to say it. Hate instruction, hate improve, hate reproof. Don't like to be corrected. Yahweh is saying, whoso loveth instruction, loveth knowledge. And that went for the brother as well. He hates knowledge because he wasn't willing to take correction. Why? Because our people coming out of the world, they be like, man, don't be checking me, don't be correcting me, but you need correction. Whoso loveth instruction, loveth knowledge. But he that hateth reproof is brutish. You're stupid. That's what the Most High is saying. You're stupid. A good man obtaineth favor of Yahweh, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. You just, let's see, wicked devices. Let's look that up. Of wicked devices. Discretion, wicked devices, device thought, intents, mischievous device, so mischievous intents, witty inventions, lewdness, mischievous. Plug my battery in. Hmm? Hmm? This one? Oh, okay. Okay. So witty inventions. Let's see. Let's look that up, man. Okay. All right. Wow. I'm just going to do this. Showing it characterized by quick, inventive verbal humor. Hmm. Oh, okay, yeah. Hmm. 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 I'll get this. Can you hear this, Zanako? You know?